All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are completely deconstructing a business success story that is just as fast-paced as it is fascinating. We're looking at how modern artificial intelligence is fundamentally rewriting the rulebook for e-commerce. If you've ever found yourself wondering how people are practically pulling fully formed businesses out of thin air using AI, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the exact strategies, the tools, and the workflows used to build a fully functioning, highly profitable online brand at absolute lightning speed.
And when I say lightning speed, I really mean it. Look at this number. $10,150 according to our source material. This revenue was generated in just 24 hours. But here's the part that's going to genuinely make your jaw drop. The entire business infrastructure that generated this cash was built in exactly 30 minutes using AI. A 30-minute build for a 10 grand payday. It honestly sounds like science fiction, but as you'll see, it's actually a highly calculated, deeply methodical process.
You know, we are currently living through a massive paradigm shift in the e-commerce space. Think back to the past. Getting a dropshipping store off the ground was what we'd call the old grind. It took days, sometimes weeks, of painful manual work, coding, copywriting, and a massive testing budget just to see what might stick. It costs an arm and a leg just to reach the point of getting a little traction. But today, that barrier to entry has completely shifted. AI now handles the heavy lifting that used to eat up your entire week and your entire budget. The research, the copy, the visual creatives, all of that work is now entirely delegated to machines. Your job is no longer to do the grueling work, but rather to make the high-level decisions.
So, to understand exactly how this was achieved, we're breaking this down into 4 key areas. First, winning business strategy. Second, the Claude AI workflow. Third, next-gen ad tactics. And fourth, the human decision factor. Let's get into it.
Part 1. Winning business strategy. The engine running this whole operation is, of course, dropshipping. Because it's so lean and you aren't bogged down managing physical inventory, it is quite literally the perfect vehicle to pair with AI for incredible speed. But the crucial point is figuring out what to actually sell, right? Our source didn't just guess or throw darts at a board. They took a very calculated approach. They spent about 20 minutes analyzing platforms like the Facebook ad library and TikTok, looking specifically at 3 high-paying niches: beauty, health and wellness, and fitness. And why these 3? Well, because they solve deep emotional problems and they naturally create repeat customers. I mean, nobody buys a skincare routine just once, right? Ultimately, beauty was the clear winner here. Not only does it have strong profit margins, but it's a highly visual niche. And because it's so visual, it is the absolute perfect fit for the AI video generation tools we're going to talk about in just a minute.
So, during this research phase in the beauty space, the creator found a competitor brand that was scaling a single skincare serum across dozens of ads with massive engagement. Now, when you see a brand spending that consistently on ads, it means they're basically printing money. So that competitor became their absolute blueprint. They didn't try to reinvent the wheel. They just found a working machine to analyze and model.
Which brings us to part 2, the Claude AI workflow.
The technical setup here is surprisingly straightforward, but you have to get it right. To get the AI text model Claude talking perfectly with the AI video generator Cadence 2.5, our source used a platform called ecommerce.ai. Why do that? Because it prevents random crashes and creates a highly stable, efficient workflow. It basically just involves navigating to the site, grabbing an MCP installation command, and adding it as a custom connector right inside Claude's settings. With that bridge built, Claude was completely ready to go to work. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the crazy power of modern AI. The very first prompt fed into Claude included the competitor's store link along with some of their ad links. And in minutes, Claude completely reverse-engineered the entire brand. It instantly identified the target demographic, women aged 35 to 55. It pinpointed their deepest emotional pain points, like the loss of firmness, the fear of looking tired, and critically, the fear of looking fake with things like Botox or heavy filters. It even analyzed the competitor's flaws, pointing out that they mistakenly led with product ingredients instead of focusing on those emotional hooks. Claude basically did a full day's worth of elite market research and margin analysis in about 2 minutes. Wild, right?
Then came the second prompt. The creators simply told Claude, build the entire store using everything you just learned. And the speed of this was just mind-blowing. Claude essentially started coding a completely conversion-optimized store mockup right before their eyes. It sequenced the bundle offers, wrote out all the sales copy, laid out the social proof, and even applied a premium wine and burgundy color palette just to give the brand a really high-end feel. It was honestly like watching a time-lapse of a construction site. Just 2 prompts. That's literally all it took to read the market and build a foundational machine.
All right, part 3, next-gen ad tactics.
To drive the traffic, they utilized a newly released tool called Dance 2.5, and we really need to highlight how revolutionary this specific software is for e-commerce. If you've seen older AI video, you already know about that glitchy, morphing slideshow effect, where a product just turns into something completely different halfway through the clip. Dance 2.5 completely shatters those limitations. It allows for up to 30-second generations in native 4K. It can take up to 50 reference inputs for styling, but most importantly, it maintains flawless consistency. The product you see in frame 1 is the exact same product you see in frame 30.
So, using a highly detailed prompt written by Claude, Sedans generated a stunning user-generated content-style ad. And the realism here is quite literally what stops the scroll. The ad featured the super close-up macro shot of red serum dripping onto fingers, being rubbed into the cheeks, and visibly absorbing into the skin without looking fake at all. The human face remained completely stable while the lighting naturally shifted into this beautiful golden hour look. And incredibly, when the AI model held up the bottle, the label reading Metacube was perfectly clean and readable. Not some weird alien barcode, but actual text. It was a flawless 30-second ad created without a camera, a model, or a studio. And they generated 10 different variations of this in a single day.
With the ads fully generated, the final step was this brilliant data loop. They took those 10 AI videos and launched them as meta ads using broad targeting, basically just letting the social media algorithm do its thing. But they didn't rely on human guesswork to figure out what was working. No way. They exported the live campaign data, fed it right back into Claude, and just let the AI analyze the metrics to decide exactly which underperforming ads to kill and which winning ads to scale up. This completely data-driven loop with zero guesswork is what ultimately drove that $10,000 in a single day.
And that leads us to our final point, part 4, the human decision factor. This is honestly the most vital takeaway from this entire explainer. AI can build a machine, it can write the code, it can generate the video, and it can analyze the complex data, but it cannot decide what to build. The AI didn't decide which beauty brand was actually worth copying, it didn't decide which emotional angles to lean into first. Those foundational business strategies, they still came from a human. As our source warns, you can have the exact same prompts and the exact same AI software as someone else. But if you don't understand the underlying strategy of e-commerce, the AI is going to make you absolutely nothing. So as we look at this incredible technology, the final question you really have to ask yourself isn't about the tools. It's this: AI can build a machine, but do you actually know how to drive it?